Yo abusia nanso so yakwesi adabio mankrankra bi achi mankrankra bi aha mankrankra bi ajo beebi a wo bi ane mra abo wo ho bi e honom nchia ena mede mebo epinu megimi di se wo ho ye ntachremada wabodwu na moja nsuso edi wo mu afru sane yeguso aye esua de hwe se bibifo be di omo ho a enye ye nyina eye afi wo mo betumi nyane no ena omo beboa na yage ye ho na wo koboa ma enye wadwen se wunua na wada no wo frɛ na ebeye easy enye easy but say yesi kwan so ne de kwa na yeko enti wo a wo pese wo kasa no betumi akasa wo a pese wo ye din ne nso so no de nyame de mi be sibia ma pene so omo so omo wo ho and then ye discuss three-headed beast medikan ama wo run down no baby a ebe fa nyina ende before we bring the spiritual side of things. Let's look at the various issues and what people said about the last episode. They said Burkina Faso has sacked all foreign gold mines and now they are developing their own gold mining and processing that will give the country some $6 billion every year. Omo ankasa je omo mines no no omo se omo ye. No omo ankasa ya sika omo benya no enu nie. Number 2 is that America has some armies in Africa. And these guys are saying that because Burkina Faso is sacking the foreign gold mines, they don't like it. Almost first one here, a French president, no. Ono no say, onim ni enti omo yi omo kasa ne fi wo so omo beka omo de ye ungrateful, onye happy. Se say we num so say wasake nkrofo fi ono ani fie o. Intino, ono so say nani enji ompe. And this is what is creating a panic that the Americans will attack Burkina Faso. Omubeku trare. Enu ne yes fear no. Adenti ne ni pesuru. Adenti no omobe attack omo otini fie. Mu yese onso ompe. In fact, say ye kakura no de mo a anya ka na mo ne beka. Na watu ya moka. Wei attack be ne wo wei mu. You better say, how do we calculate this? Anybody will see this as a clear case of the unusual master and servant game that has been happening every day in Africa. But I see beyond that. Because where the day be so into obi crack I say, oh, this thing that is going on is one of these dirty old kind of game. Oh, really? That is how you see it. But how do I see it? Because I see beyond this. It is not just about politics. I have said this last week. I want you guys to go and watch 2 of my editorials. I saw this coming 2 years ago and I started preparing us. Soul Invictus and Masters of the Universe. I did this last 2 years. It's still on the platform. You can go and watch this after the episode. Yehu we say banache. You started say you can't watch them. You started say you can't watch them. Na message ni me ya omu momu ti ase. Eche meme nkrofo ni momu America akire omu. Today we rather hear you and start chatting you, asking questions with wrong numbers. Till so be finding out to show the way our questions ni kono say we e nkrofo ni bia. Ayen nkrofo no enye hopo no omo hwe no omo akodwen no mpo. These 2 editorials are so important because they answer 2 important questions. Like how come slavery and colonialism were so well executed, even though Africans look stronger if they were to fight in battles? How? Somebody was saying that, asking the question that, me see something broke our back. Before they came, we were on our knees and we wrestle not against flesh and blood. You explain. Go and watch these 2 episodes. You get full understanding of what I said. Like how come Senkrofo we can, how? And then the second one is how come still Africa is not free? It looks like whatever we do, they will try to stop us from being free. Why? Watch Soul Invictus and the Masters of the Universe if you didn't, and so you will understand where I'm coming from. Why? Why can't we be free? You say you're independence country, independence, is it true? To tell you why, I will have to narrate it in a story from the death of the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar. Se meka mo wate ase no age maka ade we na fe wate mase. Julius Caesar was assassinated in public by his people who stabbed him 23 times. This is something that is there. It's not me that is cooking it. Imagine a whole emperor being stabbed by a group of his people in his parliament 23 times. No stabbing. It means they were not afraid. They were not in a hurry to run away. No munsroche. Ti omo jina ho. Fane se nipa bia nanti free kroma kodru parliament. Now stab the president. And to me, see, how would you pass through all the protocols? Inti so no one microphone bi na microphone na wo ho na bi. Inti so mu decide so mu be ya ade omu wo hobi. Omu be hu se ye mo na mo ye na enso omu ye de a. Na omu ye determine so omu be ku papa no without fear and nothing. This sent great fear into the hearts of the royals of Rome. Because sa ade we si pa de a. Se wo na wo ye minister na wan kwa adwuma se da, wo na ye vice na wan kwa adwuma se da na. Ehu kese ene beto wo koma so ana beto wo kra so menuanom aden ti ne yentumi nde ye ho eno ene nne ye hwe ne aka na what happened to our gold na three-headed beast no, what are they representing? What do they stand for? Eno na me pesa me no ye che. Just imagine if it's today. No, be akoya said the American. How would you feel? In any country, a president goes to parliament and suddenly people come to him and start stabbing him to death openly. That will be scary to another president. So, the royals of Rome decided to make themselves gods and descendants of gods to the people, so that if you saw your king like a god, you wouldn't go and stab him. So when enkrofo structures are omwaye obibini eti wa waji atumi say wiase nyina ye boy 2000 years ago and no cry a great error. Enkrofo niam omo akom omo use to omo head and they setting up structures just to save themselves and their generation. Yeti ha yebu atopano areho keke enkrofo akoniamam and then sakraye omo akonia meme living legacy at the among generation. Ye de sika no an ye pe. Today, tomorrow, it ends there. Ooh ye, wo yare ya o da unso obaton uniame nyina. This is what they did. After Nkrofo stabbing Julius Caesar, and say kai, say anya bibi empire na ma no we kuku hi nyinara. Wo mo ba up, e be che see omo hu nyame, ene omo senti ne de kekeka ho. They planned ahead to secure themselves. What do we do as black nation? For a king to portray himself and his family as gods and not human beings, he needs two things. He must have endless wealth to make him and his family appear always as glamorous and luxurious like gods. Asembi wa aka me beka ba mejai. Sankanya sa obetimi atwe nipa ne hu ni su ene de we a oye ne ho ne mo weremu ne na ase no we hu ni god ko possess no. Wo hwe we mpo a wo behu. Say ye god papa, say ye god fi. Wo behu. Ba nkrofo we ni hu de we na omo say omo portray omo ho. Enti no omo aye a god omo hwehwe sika na omo hie sika. Omo be appear ti say nyame appear. Ena me ka kire mu se munsuo ni muniama na man ne kan wa ha no. Nyame be ne wo mu amugine mu amugu nsa mo fa nche me. Eye question na me bisa. Wait there, you don't have to get angry. Number 2, you need the following to become a god or to appear like a god or to pretend to be God. And a religion so that the grandfathers of the sitting emperor will be God and the family will be children of God. The nature so we have religion so to do that. Kings need money, and the only place they get money from is from war. Tetemra no ahemfu hia sika na omu hia asase a eye eku e na omukọ na omu akọje asase nti na meka kire o se wo ye ohene a wote wo sesi e wo ton asase a minima se yensa wo acid o si yenye odem ntumi hu ba wo ntumi nka cause you don't know how they think baby omodwen ko they go to war so omo benye sika na omo benya they go to war to acquire those knowledge eni nyina wo bible mu omo si David kun oku bebre jeje nkrofo gold ni we see in the bible but the war was also expensive ne boy edin because we carry a whole army and we move a whole iwa so they started borrowing money from people who kept the savings of merchants and farmers inte say no loan omo dru bank ho na omo hwehwe loan omo hwehwe bosia na omo de atusa anamo no so omo kọ wa akọpẹ sika akọpẹ de omo be hia fans omo de be finance war na omo kọ no omo de akọhwehwe sika no what ase ye de nam na yi nam nti afa omo fall on private people la omo jije nkrofo sika omo like susufo ne ade. As time went by, the royals accumulated huge debt with the people. Omaji loan na so omo ko no mu nya bidi a omo na ende kana na oboko saa na yemu bebre ye oji loan no de ye store wa boka mateti oji loan no wa ha no de akotu ya loan no wa ha no oji wa ha no de akotu onim so oji wa ha kwa ha na interest no ni na kwa na ekoso nti okozongon say na egbu enu mo omo ye omo be de ka kese ti na meka kiro say the Africa ekomu bia obi akomu bida saa movie a Traore epese o movie enu na omo nso omo movie to ende eka no omo antena wo say ye be ye nya hwe de ye mfa ne saa wantena se so obeye obetokam wanye ne saa. And in exchange the people who gave the loan started getting influence over the royals. Afa no mu mbu ahemfu ni biom ebi esi wo Ghana hala. Hey, by doing so people grew into banks and other businesses because they started manipulating the royals to tax the farmers and workers. See ebinum abedi ebinum so last 2 weeks spiritual misa so here no command men obetumi amana wa umu wo ye fundo obi so obi no ma waduane di obetumi akomande untumi commande o ko ka asem wo echire obi na amisa anya ne de me bisa ne se me meti ha sesi yi no kwasem ni se me be ware a me mpa oba ma me wo sika chen because untumi control me na wa so udu ho na wa hwe so a wa uzo nonsense nsuru entumi nsi fom nti no krakra ne sen nti na me twa bishop no bishop ya me kan me didi aguro mu take ni serious hey enye izo nti when Constantine became an emperor he was able to back the plan with the invention of Catholicism. Another wahu say leaders na ye benya ni nyina omo ye bibi o when they omo be ye bibi na omo ntumi anwi a obi ba so otumi to waso sa na ti e wo mo political system no nti na me say me I'm not talking politics, I'm talking awakening and consciousness and liberation of Africa a different thing cry from the amoye ye no no we mu no omo person omo liberate omo generation o nti ebinu mu start ye na omo ade kana omo ye nyam omo sha ahemfo no so obi so aba or try the change aba just like Traore eye nti Constantine ba ye no say o me fa Catholicism famra me kan ni pe nyina mbom na omo fa adwen kromra na ye mpa ye ntena omo so ni ntumi de ye ho. So now as the families of the royals begin to expand, the Pope, who acts as the mouthpiece of God, chose the king and the people worship God through the Pope. Until this is the setup. Yeah, can be say, Pope, when your son worship you, minia, and you don't want to read you. At this age, young Bejina na there obi ko research ya who's young betrani enka. At the yarding of forms are. There be until they are won't ne fa. So we feel so a year, a be a baby a word do a be a baby a me medu no kra wo ase ho. So because of this, many royals formed other European countries and the Rome Empire grew into Europe and Britain. But as the emperor changed and evolved, the money lenders who gave money to the royals for their wealthy displays also grew into big powerful companies. Into the obo BBC ano abenye sika na de obo obosia so de pushi ne plan na ne agenda no ono so aba abenye sika. And they got certified by charter from the royals. Afa de ahemfo no abo mu atenase. Ntese no emnam meso wo so benye sika nam wo so meso de amepa no me ba benya. Before me enu ntumi nka o ma adwene mbomu nya ade baako. Nti na Indian fo take over the western world no. Cause ono de oni ni nua ne beka no obeye India ni bekwa kofa na yiri aba na oye clean ono be ma na ye clean o de ne ba ni yiri beko university ama wawie na waba beye IT waba beye lawyer still la oba na waye lawyer na ni kunu ye clean na no oni ni kunu ne kasa obekoto ama ni kunu no obibini ye de ne koduru abrochi ya na wehurisi be ma no ko ho ye de oba ma ne duru abrochi na wehurisi ye kwa hefa pesemi nkuminya eye cancer emfa wo nko ba bia eno ne yete ha ne yeye nkrofo we no we huhu we nsachi na we huhu we nsachi na ndey say net wo ti wo ba bia nko obi empo ya asem odi obo ohene ne bosia no aba ba ye kese na ohene ne soso aboa na mana ye kese nti obi a wo ma work hand in hand enya dia obi ape a ode be boa ne yonko. Later the companies grew so big and powerful than the royals. Because some dey say sika dey say wo bobesia obeba won kwa na nyina Bible can say woe unto you who go to Egypt for help just abosia dey odo ho kotum a wan hwa an dey ho da. And the royals are in serious debt because the loan guys are the ones funding the wars. Catch us say de bia wunye obi aduane wuti obi nchen wu hwe obi store wu wie sika no wo dey ma boyfriend wu wie sika no wu di wu twa wanum twa wu di na wu wie nipa na de because enye usika na auditor no bie wo yam a time will come obe wie nipa na de a time will come no obe yi wa free honom no na wo ye fun ma bi obe dane kromfo obi ade ketu obi na obe fa na abokakoda prison ayemfo nu senya omo tena ase ena omo gigi sika no na omo didi na nkrofo no be ye kese afi na omo de omo ho akoka adwam omo kana ye bebrebe omo be ye den. So to be able to pay the loans, the company started sponsoring voyages to unknown lands with royal guards and armies. Omo ekuro no ye omo de ano, omo so pe sika no, omo aka omo adwen abom. Wo boa me wo ye ohene wo na akọ war, ekope ni ama me nso na me aba obosia na sika na aba me ho chese yen work hand in hand. And so voyages like Christopher Columbus were sponsored by these loan guys to look for new wells, and they came to see Africa, the land of golden people. And these people no more what trouble mu no more so pay solution. Ti ada na mu nua ba ko pese ehu se mo what trouble mu no pay solution. Na mu nyina mo mbo ni chidom ibe na mo nkobo ano. Mu nyina mada ni mu nkasa biom. Ahum te papa enim guase mobo papa. So this was the plan after they came to see Africa, for the royals to pay their debt and get more money to show off. Just for no more show off no why woman to me no almost baby. They must send missionaries from the Roman church to first go and mingle and fetch for information. Nti said ya mufri mufie na mokoka mufie ni mukunu nu masem kire asofo no. Enye ndura ne start ye ya de start da nkrofo na de baaye ebeduedua ne wa ha na ebi afifi wo ye hwinimu ne yesen ase nyina. After that, the kings will send their army to go and conquer the land. Nti missionaries ne ba na omotete bicycle no so na book ni hihye omomotuo mom na omudi nyame ebrew na wo so ye nso ye kasa ye say ye good ye the best hospitality country is a continent. No maba omuja missionary na fe omu start seminars na mo akogina wo na mo kasa na mo tap information. Oh, Africa. Nti omu ba missionaries ni ba na omu be logo na omu be study landmarks ni bibia. Oh, the next thing na ahemfo na ba na omu be conquer land. This is what happened to Africa. After the royals take the land, then the companies will come and take any natural resources free of charge to their factories in Europe. So hine no missionaries ni beba when we say the nkrofo eye adwuma hand in hand no be wi a na ahemfo no aba no ma be attack na fe nkrofo no mo de omo ka na ba na bibi wa asase no so say nchene say spices say gold say manganese say diamond say bauxite say lithium say no ma befa ni nyina no mo de akoye factories no wo Europe ho asem ni nyina history ni na me de amount yento aswe. Then the royals will also take the treasures and gold and use it to pay their debt. Ti obi omo ye adwuma tate omo aka omo ho abom na omo ye adwuma mo de African state African continent, the president, the ministers, they are saying so omo de omo ntumi nka omo ho mbom da enye hwe. You sat here for a stranger to come and build borders among you. We create good relationship with our neighbors so we can grow stronger. We don't create borders. So, the Portuguese first came to Africa backed by the royals of Portugal. Nti won amifo no ene nkrofo no na we mu di omachi ba na omo be milk yenya. They saw free labor. So, the loan companies started slavery to get free labor for their sugar farms and rice farms. Inti omo be hu say ye adwuma te say machines. Na for omo started say omo totoye enko. Ni akoye adwuma wo omo ahwede ni omo amu afuom. Me say wo bibi kan. Thank God for machines, technology. Me gidi say ye nananom de bae na ye free because anka mba anka nkrofo we ke bi asase mpo omo manipa ba ko nkaso. Their first shipment of slaves was somewhere in 1441. So, it stayed that way until the slaves fought back and got slavery abolished. Akoswa na ya abolish ampa. But because the companies would collapse without free labor and free resources from Africa, they turned around and sent the royals back to Africa to colonize the continent. So this is the agenda. More than the year komo, but omo taking a bold step. No mo mfa ho ne eka, no mo mfa ho ne owuo, no mo de omo tu anamon so omo be hwehwe bibi no mo de ade omo ho. Yen yete ha. Ya dani mumu. Yen fi obi a. Omo plan. Omo mpese omo jaaye da na ye wo so omo jaaye. Omo jaaye. Nniama ne dose omo ntumi bobo ni na so. But that time, the companies have expanded into modern firms and banks. Then Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Osajefo, may your soul rest in peace, what? Perfect peace, what? Awoke and started fighting for independence. Such a great man. You see why you're useless, you're disposed, you know. That time, now awakening Nisa. Truthfully, after Kwame Nkrumah, niyama ye enjoy Ghana na one year more than Kwame Nkrumah. It's a question. Oh, answer natural. And be exercising gullibility. I'm saying a question. Again, from cocoa processing, a day motor, a day why, who, how? Or no? And now they independent or starting independence. Na African na copy paste here. The independence of Africa means that no resources for the private companies and the royals of Europe will be broken again because now they still owe big debts. Okaza nkwa na adeka free na komunjai dede na ya amoye no about loans no obia deka obia wo Lazarus bia wewu apro e wo na brabo maka kire wo munjai demonstration ye na moma mani enka mo de moma ye ne nkrofo yin George. That is ebenya mpanimfo a omo enyane a said na Kwame Nkrumah enyane na. You can go and check from tomatoes to cashew to gold to diamond to everything that leaves Africa goes to private companies. It doesn't go to the royals. These companies are the ones who owns the banks and big top 1% of the wealth of the world. Until we are sika de nipa bebre na control because of this structure. Nipa kakre bi na control 1%. Until ada na mu nua baako ese mo sorry na mo control a mo ntumi ndi nachi. Asem we me say ma adwen ho abaye bosu me mienu ni ntumi ndampo. Ask yourself. America is in debt, or the cow. China is in debt. They are all in debt, just like you and I. The royals are all in debt. Obi adeka. Go and make research and see. When the gold and diamonds leave Africa, it doesn't end up in any government company. Eko omo bo obosuan ho sa 1%. The government in Europe do not manufacture or process gold. Go and find out. It is the sole right of the powerful private companies to borrow money from nations and kings. They control religion to protect royals, and they control wars and governments. Who said the whole thing? Unia baako say yen sorry ni yenye bibi ni yenso yen plan yen structures a waka wano atum who we aba be catch and say we powerful we bishop we way you will shut forever. Said ya obi ko ware a moka say whoever has say hey they hold their peace forever. What one capim onyame ma won tori mum na me kam chiro. Are you serious? They control the military and everything, because everything is money. They get the money, so they have the power to control Bibia. Asori dem kura, osofo no wo ho. The oyi sika no no ye Holy Spirit or control. Omo mu kita sika, omo no mu control Bibia. Okay, mini. So, if American soldiers are planning to attack Burkina Faso, it is not America as a country. It is not Trump's order. And if it is his order, it is coming from the company who will benefit. Well, because of my the world is being run by debt because the companies control the government and kings who are in serious debt. Into your depression, neba wo so se munye se a who needs it. Say time a hipeke buy almost omukodi isika no. Se be ka frache almost omu fancy private no nipa ndidi your toilet. Facha me. Omudi ko si hwia na sa dey round ni so hey Africa ebio and ndura de yi levi a midi atua nyame adom atwamu ampai omode ba na omo na omo kire omode omonye because omode ma na omo gya wo say ye de awo pe a enko yie mo na me bi sample say loans na mo koje say mo de be ye kwan ne ade in fact sika na ye de hye mo nsam ana omode omo ano na ye ka na omo asa ama mo nipa so omo be question o. Why are you pampering such a brain tumor? Try to say Debbie must say yemboano. Yemfi no kura. Hey, Africa, that bay. Are there men here? It's just a question. Are there men here? Who shall try no? Ghana and Pone African country wabamudo. And say organize Thanksgiving service. Prayer and Thanksgiving service. Amanyankopon. I am on fatare and can why. Trare. Say one and didn't cram who said Trore na de cost up you know. Said they to me. I am on fatty didn't come. A mobopi. That is what I tried to teach 2 years ago in my editorial Masters of the Universe and the Soul Invictus. You can go and watch now when your details of it. Now fe wa ba be hwa asema me no be kan sisi sebe na wadwen ho amame wate. What's your time with Maame Grace? On this platform there, I am the prettiest preacher. Last week, my shit. Abusuya, you're discussing the 3-headed beast.